He respects the grift.
It's covered, dude. Joe Cool's been pretending not to donate for 25 years on 10th, man.
I don't know who just dropped. Oh, it was obstacles. Damn it, obstacles! I thought somebody like dropped. All right. Well, now obstacles is stuck back there. Respect the grift. Do what you got to do. We traded one black man for the. Oh, who just dropped now? Who dropped now? Was that Jason? Did Jason step away? All right.
Jason ran. He couldn't handle the smoke. I get it.
It's so fast. I can't keep
up. Jonathan follows up to say, and this will be our new topic shift because I was going to go ahead and reach into the bag. It says, "Dear panel, question. I am Jewish." Oh, before I keep reading further, I want to make sure I...
Yeah, check that.
For protection, okay. Question. What's the question? We have security guards everywhere in my community for protection only against terrorism. I feel... What's the question, Jonathan?
Talking about there's no question. I think he's talking about the Bondi shooting in Australia.
I think the implication is that the question is, am I justified to fear? And I mean, well, anti-Semitic violence does seem to be on the rise. It has been for a while. And I mean, odds are you personally won't be the victim of it, but it is a real thing to be concerned about, like, no doubt. Especially with, the normalization of people like Nick Fuentes. It is obviously scary. And I mean, even an amount of anti-Semitism, like from the left, although it's conflated a lot. There are people who wear the progressive badge and talk about what's going on in Palestine, which I do believe is a genocide. And people conflating acknowledging that fact with Jewishness. There are a lot of people doing this stuff. So yeah, I think it's reasonable to be concerned.
Okay. All right. Do you guys want to carry on with that piece?
Security guards. That's what
I'd say there's 4
security guards. That's what I'm curious about.
Well, hell yeah. And do they
have
paintball?
That's what I'd be wondering. Is it right? Exactly.
I double dog dare you to keep talking about this.
Fear's a tool, right? So, like any other tool, you have to hone and sharpen it and learn how to use it properly. Like, if you just let your fear overrun your good sense, you're going to have issues and problems and wind up in some bad places. But if you listen to it and examine it, it can tell you, like, what your inner brain or your subconscious is trying to warn you about. What there's some sort of danger that is out
like
there.
A spidey sense or something.
Something like that.
It's
an intuition for sure. Yeah. Like fear, but like we were talking about stoicism earlier, it's like any other emotion. You have to regulate it and stay in control of it for it to be a useful tool, and not something that just runs roughshod through your life.
Yeah.
Hold up. Can I just point something out? Ryan, why is your hair not all fluffy and up?
Because I need to pick up some more of the Axe Moose stuff, and I don't have any right now. So
you actually look significantly younger
Any man
with it
on
like
panel
this.
notice that?
No, probably not. But you look great, Ryan. I think it makes you look younger.
Appreciate
it's
it.
the postmodern contemporary background.
Would you? Was this guy? Where was this guy living at? That asked that question.
I mean, it's obviously he's in Australia. If he's talking about the
Okay,
shootings that
cool.
just happened.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Oh,
gotcha.
yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I lived in
You think the
Israel for about
security
3 years,
guards
so yeah, and there's no need to be scared. I mean, Israel, people live their life daily, so
Well,
we
I
were
mean, you
getting
guys
bombed
remember.
when I lived there.
Maybe you don't
So,
remember post 9/11
we
here,
just
but
kept
I'm sure a
going
few
on.
people do. Everyone was scared of things are going to happen more. Are there going to be more attacks? When people go through trauma, they start thinking irrationally.
We're still taking our shoes off at the airport.
People still got emotions.
No, they just stopped that.
Yeah.
Didn't they just stop that?
Some
The shoes? Now you can keep your shoes on.
I mean,
Strange to me.
Sasquatch his feet. You might want to keep your shoes on too.
True.
Well, you're a grown man. Deal with it.
Good job, brother. Hold on. I want to give you the
on the plane.
we're gonna do it.
I'm
I'm
still
with you,
curious what his
brother.
question was.
Deal
'Cause we're
with
all
it.
just like,
Watch how you move the hand. Watch. Be careful. All right.
I'm a little too pale skinned for that. My heart goes out to you, bullshit.
Oh my goodness. Joshua, Stacy. I think that's Joshua. Right? Yeah. It says so. IDF guy shoots and unalives Israelis, and we cry about that word. Try not to. Well, I don't want to say these words out loud, particularly, but Ryan, make this make sense. Isn't that place on that kind of violence a different? Is that criteria that he meant to put in? Critter?
I mean,
Critter?
maybe I'm not familiar with
maybe-
the facts of the attack that they're talking about in Australia, but I mean I don't know if it
Different
turned out it was an
criteria.
IDF guy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
think it's
perhaps
criteria.
the situation is different than my understanding of it is, but I mean, regardless of that, the things I said stand. Anti-Semitic attacks are on the rise, have been for a while, and it is worth being concerned about. Doesn't mean you got to live your life in fear, but I mean, it's reasonable to acknowledge the current political landscape, and it does have a lot of anti-Semitism. And you know, I say that as someone who's very critical of Israel. So
I'm more concerned at
Wait.
the acceptance of anti-Semitism. That
were
seems to
they
be
Israelis
increasing as of
though?
late.
I only read that it was 15 Jewish people at a Hanukkah celebration in Australia. Does that automatically apply they were all Israelis? Are we talking about the same thing? What is he?
You're assuming the person that did it is smart enough to understand the difference.
Well, it was two Syrians, right?
The difference.
That don't mean shit.
They would.
well, yeah. So what I'm guessing is that
I don't know
Josh
if
is wrong about this, as he so often is wrong about things. So.
Who you talking to?
Over there with
He's talking to
Josh.
the super
Talking
chat.
about Josh.
Oh, okay.
that place over there has
Cowboy.
been under siege for 4,000 years.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
What are we going to do to change it, right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's a
Are you
piece-
talking
Hashtags and complain on the
Didn't take place
internet.
there.
Yeah, that's a bad
That'll
one.
fix it. That'll do it just right. That'll do it just right.
Reddit?
Involved.
And Jonathan, I think Jonathan has officially sponsored this past round, by the way, because Jonathan's been kicking out those dono goes like it's his job. So thank you. Tomatoes in the chat for Jonathan, because you have 13 more minutes to get the last 4 in, and I think Jonathan's done a lot of them so far. Fireworks were used the night of the pew-pewing in a high area celebrating in the you-know-who area. I love you guys. This is so nice.
Yeah, I don't know what he's referring. I mean, like seeing fireworks doesn't mean that they're celebrating an attack. That's kind of a weird assumption.
People are
Brother.
shitty. That's all I'd say. Like, what you gonna do? Like, the people are just shitty right at this point in time on this
Yeah.
timeline on this earth. People are so fucking shitty.
Yeah, what's
They're
the
allowed
name
to be
you said, not a
assholes.
shitty person.
Where I live, there's
It's happening. We're just noticing it more.
And I'm certainly
There's
not
a
going to hear
large-
any bitching from anyone who has supported the greatest perpetrators of the emptying of our empathy barrel to the point where it's bone dry.
Flood the zone, bro.
empathy or sympathy.
Any of it.
All of
They're
it.
different. They're different things.
And
All of it.
I'm
yeah.
just wondering. Okay. I don't actually know that empathy is applicable here. I think most people say empathy when they mean sympathy, because sympathy is how you feel for other people. Empathy is putting yourself in someone else's shoes to try and understand them.
Doesn't matter.
I still feel like both apply in this scenario, at least. Like,
We said the world is shitty. I didn't want to cuss, but I guess I did. What do y'all mean by that?
American troops are moving out of Puerto Rico into Venezuela.
I haven't seen.
I mean, there's look at the past few years. There's just a whole bunch of shitty things that have been happening, whether it be Israel and Gaza, or what is happening to Yemen and the people in there. Rebel groups popping up everywhere, states falling apart, religions killing each other, shitty countries that we don't like being expansionist. Like, it also seems that every country that we made to be pacifist after World War II is all of a sudden like, yeah, we should have guns again. So like, there's just a whole lot of bad omens happening all at once. I think
Okay. Oh.
within like a year apart, Germany and Japan are like, we should have guns.
Let me get through a couple of these, please. That was so kind. Jonathan and Jason both. Prose sends a big 5. A cheeky fella says, "Sup taters, we're maters." By the way, cheeky fella, we are maters. But thank you. Says, "Someone match me. Thanks for having me on your Discord and your platform. You guys rock. Who's going to match me?" Well, I think the men have spoken very clearly. Jason comes in with the big 5. And just to help, he tells me in the chat to shut up and stop complaining. He says, "Quit crying, Sarah." Every time I start crying about donos, he tells me to shut up. And Jonathan also. So I got my second favorite color on the screen and my most favorite color on the screen. I want to see nothing but tomatoes in the chat for the next 5 minutes. Nothing else. No chatting. Just tomatoes, because these two gentlemen have purchased a lot of time for all of you in the chat so that you can be freeloaders for the evening. So thank you to Jason and Jonathan both. That was very kind and thoughtful. Okay, let's hand it back to you guys.
Uncle gets to play his favorite game, Tomatoes or Doom.
Tomatoes or doom. Yes. 5 minutes. You got 5 minutes. Where's Guns at? Is he still there? He loves this part. Why you guys go quiet?
I kind of got derailed. Sorry.
All right. Well, let's move.
We're not entirely.
I can move the topic again. I still have so many to go through.
Sure.
Do we want, since Ryan's here, do we want political?
Ryan
I know
says
Ryan.
yes. He's smiling.
Did you say yes,
No.
Ryan?
I mean, I'm down for whatever.
Well, Ryan, you've been booted a lot, so I'm going to give you some kind of concepts here, and you can tell me what you would like to do. So we have some social media ones. We have some AI, and I can dive in further if one of them like kind of a category. We have psychology, mental health. We have behaviors. We have a little bit of Trump political stuff, and then we have just a nudge of like societal relationship, girls versus guys stuff, and then one religion. If
I mean, it all sounds interesting. Up to you guys.
all right,
Also,
let's do
somebody's
this.
echoing, not me.
Yeah, somebody is. I'll keep an eye on it. All right, let's do this one. The TikTok, harmless social media or dangerous, addictive social experiment.
Dangerous, addictive social experiment. Yes, ma'am.
Anyone else?
There's
I'm
definitely.
not a
mean,
fan of TikTok.
I think.
It definitely.
Go ahead,
No,
Ryan.
please.
No, go ahead.
It definitely can be dangerous. I mean, all social media can be dangerous. Depends on what kind of rabbit holes you fall into. It depends on what content you're consuming, how much you consume it, your relationship to it. It's not just TikTok, though. I mean, Instagram has the same style of swipe reels, YouTube Shorts, same exact thing. So we're to have this conversation, like we gotta.
They
Like, TikTok is
adopted
obviously
it, though.
one.
We just say
one of
social
many.
media
Sure.
instead of TikTok.
We
Yes.
could go that route,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, but like I think the interesting angle it may be that it is this particular brand of short form swipeable content that is so prevalent right now, and why it's like going on to every single. I mean, even Twitter has their own version of this now, right? Like it is every social media platform is
YouTube.
adopting this, and there might be some interesting reasons for that psychologically. So
Well, we were actually talking about
I would.
something similar to
Okay.
this earlier.
Speaking to the worst part of our brain is what it is.
Yeah, like where people can get hit with something like so suddenly and so quickly they can't have a rational response to it. It just becomes
Like
an emotional
dopamine.
response. And I think that's where these shorts and stuff pick up and exploit, is that they kind of throw this information right out there so quickly and so in such a short form. We don't really have a time to process it, so we just react to it.
I would say, I would also agree with Ryan what he was saying. because I think at the end of the day, social networking is just a tool. You decide as a free-willed human being that allegedly says, my kids are smart every time you talk about your kids. Then therefore, if they're smart, then they'll use that tool and application for their destruction or for their growth. But it all depends on the user. And so that would be my opinion around it.
What if the oh, go ahead. Well, what if the tool is designed to remove that ability to think that through?
Yeah, so this is the part that I would like to add. Most people don't know the back end, which is technically, they call it the algorithm, but the algorithm is just a representation of getting people to what they want. That is the ultimate goal of the algorithm. So me, on my Instagram, I don't have no big booty models. I don't have any, solicit girls on there because I just look for real estate. I tell the applications how to use it. Like, okay, don't show me this. I'm disinterested. And then we'll just adapt and then learn. So people don't take that into account, that aspect of it.
But there's also the idea that people can tune the algorithms to like be malicious and send people down rabbit holes or hype up conspiracy theories or bury truth. Like that's the real thing that people worry about now, let alone like how TikTok was started, which was basically by companies that are basically front ends of the Chinese government.
True.
Say the word
yeah,
kayak
definitely.
15 times and guaranteed you're going to get an ad for a kayak in the next
But the
fucking
funny part about that LPG is once you go down the rack, it's just like that with newspapers. I mean, before we had social networking, there was newspapers, right? The printed media was like that, right? Didn't we have scandals in Congress where CIA was embedded inside the news organizations? And so...
But
it's
also though, the reading the newspaper does not trigger things in your brain and the blue lights and all those things to,
You know what's funny, Sarah?
What?
They had an old video of how it used to be in the past. And then they showed right now, right? Everybody was on the bus with their face in their phone, right? Then they showed in the past, everybody was actually in the newspaper with a newspaper in their face.
Right. But when you get to work, are you... do you have a newspaper in your face?
Yes.
Or
I say it depends on how good you are at Sudoku puzzles.
You act like, people were just...
you know what? What is it, The Office, where, what's his name? The guy that's always doing the Sudoku puzzles.
Do you see my red stapler?
What's his name, huh?
My red stapler.
different media.
Sarah, you never had a family member that always was like, get out their reading glasses, get the newspaper. They always had the newspaper in their back pocket. They always had it in the side.
The
of
only
their
thing
pants.
a newspaper would be used for is for beating the shit out of you. No.
See, there you go.
No,
So that
I'm
means
kidding.
The newspaper was always around to give
No.
you a whooping too.
No, we weren't. We're not.
I'm with you on that one. Obstacles. I remember Sunday mornings as a kid and going over to my grandma's house, and they just have like 5 different newspapers on the dining room table, and they're all reading different sections of it.
Heck yeah, man.
Really?
That's just humans.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But we assume
Information.
like,
People want information.
They always was like that.
My grandma would even pull the comics out and set them on the pool table for us.
Yeah, set them on the pool table, the funny section, like all that stuff, man. That was our, source of information.
all
We used
real.
to gather around the radio. And so
The
then we
radio.
had portable radios.
Whatever, yeah.
Then they had the black people with the afros with the boombox on their shoulder, walking through the hood, playing their music. Like, that's just us,
Parachute
man.
pants, a little bit of
So
cardboard.
are we always
Yeah, but
needing
I'd
to
rather deal with our
entertain
government
ourselves?
infiltrating the newspapers than like other foreign governments, though.
Yeah,
Like,
I get that.
I'd rather have that problem than that problem.
It's all the same brain chemicals, though, right? It's all appeal to emotion. It's all getting us fired
Right.
up.
Front page. Well, like the front page title is what incentivizes you to buy it when you're local,
I'd argue
like
that
walking
the
around.
TikTok version of getting information is worse. I think it's basically it's a version of addictive media, because the swipe and the watch time mixed is a kind of like constant little heartbeat of dopamine push that kind of like drains you. I think it might make you dumber.
Well, there's a difference in quality of information. Newspapers, a produced and published product made by professionals, curated by professionals. TikTok is just any random person with a cell phone putting out whatever. No vetting, nothing to check to see the truthfulness of what they're posting.
Yeah, also, as short form, you're not really encouraged to think about things. You're basically encouraged to only give a first reaction, which will be an emotional reaction.
That's what I was trying to say earlier when I was trying to tie it back to the psychological discussion.
Well, there's also kind of the other side to that. Anyone being able to grab a mic, right? It also means that like the barrier to access to share your ideas is much lower, and I mean that's extremely important, right? Like we don't like the kind of glass ceiling, is that the right word for it? I don't know. Like I think it's definitely valuable for like people to be able to express their opinions and be able to reach millions of people potentially like quickly, and to share information that otherwise might be smothered by various agendas or just refusal to publish. Like that's a really powerful thing.
Yeah, the barrier to entry means there's more participation.
Yeah, I think this is less a ceiling and more of a floor. The floor has been lowered.
But people need to, but to have this, people need to embrace the concept of caveat emptor. Don't just trust something you read. I mean, most people don't. I don't think. There are people who take what they read on social media as just fact and don't go any further to investigate it. And that can be a big problem.
We get that, where we find what we're looking for, and we don't continue looking
confirmation
what we wanted to find already. That perspective is the whole key of understanding all perspectives and not just looking for our own. And
people gonna be people. They're gonna be biased though. They don't care.
Yeah, for sure.
What about like magazines too, though?
Bias. We're at information war.
Like, wouldn't magazines be the short form?
True.
Like Teen Mag. I remember like Teen Magazine.
Or book
Vanity
pictures.
Books. Yeah, I mean, but like. And it's built, a magazine is built, it's smaller, it's, like colorful, and it's meant to draw you in on the front page. And then every time you turn a page, if it's anything more than a 1 page long, it's like, right? Like, you're just looking at the pictures and the headlines, right? And then what you want to read goes in after that. So wouldn't that be like the short form of a newspaper?
Like articles and porno mags.
Mm-hmm.
You have like
newspapers were like news, right? Magazines became like TV shows, and newspapers became the news.
But even more so, that is like when major news is flying around, people only go based off of the shorts that they see online and not what they actually go into the news or the newspaper or whatever. Same would be with a magazine, like, oh, J-Lo, like you see it on the front page of a magazine at the store in line, and like, oh, J-Lo breaks up with Ben Affleck or something, crazy. Like, oh, he took everything, like this is that's the way people get their news now, is in short form.
That's actually a great analogy, is you're not actually reading the magazine, you're just looking at the cover.
Yeah, but Sarah, that's as humans, right? Like you do shorts to try to get people to watch the actual long format. And so it could also be a funnel for some people. Some people decide to go down it. Some people say, nah, I just want short gossips. And that's just who they are. They're never going to sit back and read a 350-page book because that's just not what they do. But I want to also agree with what Ryan was saying. Like, as much as we look at it like, man, okay, Sarah, do you have a degree in journalism?
No, not journalism.
But you're able to run your own media company. So this is the upside about having more people have access. It's democratizing the access to information. And along with that, you have to accept that there's going to be, like, Ant said, there's going to be BS too. There's going to be anybody with a phone that could come in here and say some stuff. And so those are just, you got to take both of them, the yin and the yang. But
the Inquirer was right more. The Inquirer is right more often than they were wrong.
I would agree that I would definitely be agreeable to say that short form can have its advantages and long form can too, and one can lead to the other can lead to, usually, you want to start with a short, then move to like a 10-minute, and then move them into long form. But That's where I ask the question, is our society built for long form anymore? Are we even built? Like, that's why TikTok did so well. That's why the reels are coming out strong. That's why, because they're not built for long form anymore.
Well, I think that, long form is still winning. So if you look at, the most streamed thing is YouTube, known for long format. It's not TikTok. It's one of the lowest ends. Instagram Reels is up there pretty high, but still they don't outcompete long format, which is YouTube and any of your Netflix. Like, everybody watches usually some long format media. So sometimes we just kind of get like shorts, and then that becomes the tagline because the media wants you to click on it. What's the biggest problem ailing Americans? And so I think it's just over exaggeration of that. But when you look at the data, most people are still in long formatted things.
Okay.
How many uneducated people actually think about that system while they're in it and playing with it? The addict never sees the addiction, right?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
The addict never sees the addiction when they're in the addiction. So, like with social media, when we're doom scrolling, we're just looking for something to give us that
dopamine.
How many people actually sit and pull themselves back from that and say, "Oh, well, fuck, I'm in a cycle here."
When your thumb starts to hurt.
yeah, been there years ago. MySpace days.
All right. Anyone else have a thought to that? If not, we can move on.
I hate TikTok. I've spent a lot of time on TikTok. I have a TikTok. It is actually quite shocking how people who don't know anything can just become like a big, huge star. After that fateful day in October, not too long ago, I watched this guy. The things I've seen. So it would have never flew on YouTube. I don't know why. I don't think it's the censorship. I think it's just sometimes freedom can be dangerous.
Ominous.
Fucking A.
And I'm gonna spice it up a little bit and say that
Ooh, spicy.
is basically, I'm gonna spice it up because it's getting kind of like bland. Freedom represents Trump, right? Because he's the best guy we know. Right? See, look, Ryan started twitching. I knew it was going to happen.
Well, I think there is something to that. I've described Trump historically in some ways as like kind of the ultimate neoliberal, and I do think there's something to that. When we have freedom to let presidents do so much. You get one narcissist in office, and suddenly he's taking advantage of the edges of all of our constitutional order and things that we historically rely on there being good faith that people won't do. And suddenly we have to deal with this guy who is only interested in benefiting himself, and he's doing all those things. So, sure.
I have a secret to share with you, Ryan.
The grenade.
All politicians are narcissists.
Nah, you don't say.
There might be something to that.
A true narcissist to really be a narcissist. It takes a whole
I am
team.
not a politician.
So
I didn't say that all narcissists are politicians, just that all politicians are narcissists.
They got narcissistic traits. But everybody.
It's not a hard and fast rule.
He's a malignant narcissist.
Sociopathic.
There goes
okay.
that psychology. There goes that psychology.
Yeah, we're just going to complete the circle all night. I love it. In Australia, says Jonathan, as of today, 16 and under are now banned from social media, but can still access adult sites. Make it make sense!
Well, I think it does make sense, right? Because what it means is the social media sites are now requiring, you can't sign up for a social media site without showing ID. But a lot of adult websites, like porn websites, you don't need to make an account, right, to view content. So it kind of does make sense.
The largest thing searched on the internet is adult content. The internet is mostly used by all groups of people from adult content.
All industry ever has been driven by porn. Even the American holidays
sex sells
an excuse to boost the cosplay.
But I mean, what's the gripe though? Is that the government is not stopping that? Like,
yeah, I guess that's his gripe. Yeah, because they're 16.
There's 23 states that can't even access, adult sites on the internet in America nowadays too.
Well,
but it don't work in countries that do, ban
really
it. They just use VPNs.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Ryan.
They can.
Realistically, what's happened is like Pornhub, for example, has stopped giving access to people in those states because they don't want to force their users to show like connect their identification with their Pornhub accounts and stuff like that. So that's
there was a politician.
Like, there are sites that don't have those requirements, and if you Google big boob, you'll get 15 million results, right?
But there was a politician that was talking to a school-age girl, and she said, it's dumb because we're going to find another way. And he goes, we'll just find other ways to get you.
Yeah, that's my point, though. Like, these guys keep, they ban, Pornhub and something else, and it's like, well, that's 3 sites out of 3 billion, but you haven't stopped anything. Not at all.
The other part of that position too is they don't want to be responsible for people's personal information. Like, the data breaches happen all the time. It winds up with massive lawsuits against those companies. They don't want to have
a ploy to shut down the internet, to lock it down and make everyone log in with an official government ID into the internet.
On the government side for sure, but I'm talking about on the Pornhub side, why they don't want to collect people's IDs and verify ages is because now they've got to hold on to all of this personal information.
Well, yeah, but you lose. You're going to lose a very large part of your audience, though.
It's funny too because in Australia, the prostitution is legal. So at the same time, where somebody would think if you want to ban corn, right, you probably wouldn't legalize prostitution. So this is a different situation, obviously, right? So that's interesting too. To normalize prostitution, and at the same time, go against corn.
They're adjacent, but they're not the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not saying they're the same thing, but what you would imagine, right? Somebody would be like, stop corn, stop prostitution, if it was like X, maybe a conservative. So that's why I just said it's interesting.
Well, I mean, that's the weight of it, right? Like when you're talking about governments and what they make illegal, one of the things is that as soon as you make something illegal by the government, you're creating a black market for it. So that's usually the entire kind of weight of keeping things illegal or legal or not, right? Like with the illicit substance and stuff like that. It's how much of a black market are you creating just by keeping it illegal? And is it worth the moral outrage of people who don't like things to make something legal if you are able to completely obliterate that black market? I think it is for a lot of things.
For sure.
Yeah.
Actually,
that's interesting.
That would fall under the concept of opportunity cost.
Speaking of opportunity cost, Baxter Boy, I think this is over on Ryan's side. I think Baxter Boy is a friend of yours.
Yeah, Baxter Boy.
Do you want to say thank you?
Fantastic. I don't know anything about Baxter Boy. He never says a word. Just shows up in my streams like almost every time I go live. Drops $5 silently. It's fantastic. Couldn't ask for a better guest.
I love that. Here you go.
So
all right.
If you said, go
ahead. Did you want to add into that topic before I shift it?
Yeah. So if you said it about like the corn or things that have been legalized, what would people say about drugs? I'm just asking. Legal? Illegal? Legalize it?
That depends on the drug.
No. But what about like fentanyl? Legalize it? Or no?
That's
what I'm just asking.
I would say the minimum.
No, things that are highly addictive and dangerous, like those are easy threshold, like heroin, stuff like that. No, you want to keep if someone can take a hit of something once and they're instantly physically addicted to it, like I think we can all agree that that's an easy, like, no, let's keep that illegal kind of thing, right?
Yeah, and we can always start with like decriminalization, right? If we want to make sure that people who are like victims or who are people who are addicted can seek the help that they need without being, thrown in jail for it. Like that, I think that's a good thing. So looking into ways of decriminalizing, which don't have to be like completely decriminalized, but like there's a sliding scale of how we handle these things. So.
Tom says, wasn't that ban on SM in Australia based more on addiction research? Thought I saw that somewhere. Ooh, that's a good question. Jonathan, I know you were in chat, and you are the Australian who brought this to our attention. Does anyone else know for sure?
No, I think the bill had to do, or from my recollection, it was the father that led it because his son, I think, committed suicide because he was being bullied or whatever. So he worked to pass some specific laws. That's my understanding or my recollection of how this came to be.
That's
Interesting. So based on, let me see. Let me take a look. Australia.
Yeah, I'm asking
bans
ChatGPT about it.
Yeah,
social.
Gemini.
Yeah.
That's deep sea.
Oh, Gemini versus ChatGPT. But no,
Yeah.
later on.
We can add that. Actually,
yeah.
what we'll do is we'll finish up this topic, and I think that's
I
great,
love saying
Calvin. Yeah, we could do that. Absolutely. I love that. Australia bans social media for under 16. Why? I mean, it is kind of like they do exploit our children. Australia has banned social media accounts for young people under 6. The fuck was that?
That was
Did anybody here watch the Zuckerberg testimonies in front of Congress or whatever?
Some of it. The one where he looks.
Yes, I watched it all.
Let me see. Under 16, this follows a larger government effort to protect minors, especially young women. It had nothing to do with a boy. For potential harms linked to social media, such as body image, mental health challenges, and sexual exploitation. Wow, it had nothing to do with the men. Let me see if there's another. Like, they straight up just went for, like, fuck the kids, but we got to worry about our young women.
Well,
existing
when you say
profiles.
young women, if they're young women under 18, like they are kids, right?
Yeah, but what about the young men? It was just the headliner that I'm laughing at because it's like it could have just said young men and women. Reduce design features encourage.
I suspect the body image. While I think men also do have like body image issues, I don't want to downplay that. I suspect that like the way social media in particular, like I suspect that women are more likely to develop body image issues specifically from social media. It's just my gut. I could be wrong about that, but I suspect the data backs that up just from the nature of how men and women
I think
use
kids can be monsters, and it's good that they don't have social media.
Yeah. They don't mess around, man. I'll tell you what, if the kids on the internet, like in just chats or voice, like they have nothing to hold back. This is a study commissioned earlier in 2025 found that 96% of children ages 10 to 15 use social media, and that 7 out of 10 of them had been exposed to harmful content. This included misogynistic and violent material, as well as content promoting eating disorders and unaliving. Cyberbullying platforms. Let's see. How will Australia be enforced?
It really is one of those topics where I don't fall up for, like, one of the few topics where I don't fall on the more freedom side of it. It's just like, your kids already have access to the entire fucking internet. Why would I want them to have access to the town square where every random stranger can have like equal opportunity access to them?
And yeah, and that's where.
But should that be an issue for government or an issue for parents?
I'd be fine with it just for being parents. If we could pressure the tech companies into giving us actual controls over it,
for sure,
or better controls.
At least
it becomes an issue for government if you have people who elect those government representatives and they want it to be an issue for government, right? That's how it works.
Yeah.
I think
Let's
the
see.
platforms give you the options to help control it.
Tom says, I guess banning LLMs is next. Any thoughts to that?
I wish we could. Out of the
Not going to happen.
If we do it now,
real quick to the LLM point, and relevant to the last conversation we just had as well. I believe it was Gemini or Veo, Google's Veo, which had been used. Like people had kind of gotten through the cracks to use it to produce a lot, like a huge amount of basically videos of women being harmed. Is something that was happening a lot on these platforms. And I mean, it is something we have to. You're not supposed to be able to do that, right? Like Google tried to put in blocks for that stuff, but obviously it's not perfect, and people are using it for that. And I mean, it's something we have to grapple with. Is that people are, whether it's AI like deepfakes and stuff like this, or that just that sort of content. Anyway, like I mean, this is the reality we live in right now.
And I also want to highlight, as Ryan says, that the same happens with women perpetrating that type of content also. So there's a lot of that also. So we always do it like as if people are doing something to women. People are doing things to people, and it goes both directions. So I just want to highlight that.
Would a leader be stoic if he just signed an executive order saying that the states have no right to regulate AI at all?
Can't do that.
That is what just happened. It's very concerning.
That was a wild little claim right there, right?
Go ahead, Ryan.
It's I mean, like Fatty's right. Like Trump actually did do that. This is a recent thing that happened, right? Like they're the idea on paper is to make it so there's not a patchwork of 50 states that have different AI regulations, so that we can be more competitive with China. But the practical implications are that there are legislative accomplishments and legislation in general that have already been are used in various states. There are lawsuits that have been settled and produced laws, like I believe it was Virginia or something, where Megan Thee Stallion, I think, won a lawsuit because of like lost opportunities she got from deepfake porn of her. And there's stuff like this that people had started creating laws, but they were state by state laws, and so potentially all of these are set to potentially be in limbo. Based on Trump's executive order. Another example was in California. There was a law that would require doctors to let their patients know if they used AI to generate information about them on those reports. And that could also be, I mean, it won't necessarily be eradicated by this executive order, but it could be.
I don't think so, though, because it's just an executive order, right? It's not like a full-on law, so it can't really supersede what's already in state.
Right.
You're already having so many court cases on this, too. It's going to settle it all.
And Jonathan says, no, about government control, not safety. See sexism against men in his head with the, I think this was like kind of in here. This one. I think he was kind of answering. Any thoughts? Oh, wait. Oh, here we go. Hold on. Jason says more. Why didn't I see that? I had very bad body image because of bad bullying at school. Social female expectations, put on men from my view at that time. Just more sexism against men. Women suffer more is always the reason.
Yeah,
Any thoughts to that?
I understand where he's coming from. I was a fat kid myself. I hear you. I'm just saying, like, I sure was. I was quite a chubby child. Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't change my point earlier about if like girls are more susceptible to that stuff and more likely for it to be happening through social media specifically, then I mean, it would still be relevant to talk about it there.
I think they're both susceptible to it. It's just how they deal with it. And so, but humans are susceptible to things, period. There's nothing that gives us a biological barrier of not being susceptible to bullying and etc. You have to adapt it.
To clarify, when I say susceptible there, I think I'm
okay. Yeah,
maybe I could use a better word, but I'm saying they're probably more likely to consume content of like people's bodies, right, and comparing themselves to those bodies, where men or boys are probably likely to consume different kinds of content that might not necessarily be as likely to cause these kind of distortions. That's the point I'm making.
And pro wrestling.
What was that?
Pro wrestling.
Pro wrestling. Fair enough.
I pity the fool.
I pity the fool.
Tom says creating cyberbullying shame videos of other kids growing too. Kids is growing too.
That's
cyberbullying shame videos. I mean, this is all or at least all I am seeing nowadays is someone recording like a fight happening or, oh my God, I'm going to go make some more coffee. Like I swear, I think, I only had like 2 hours of sleep, so this is fair, but I am going to make some coffee here in just a minute.
What you get for taking 3 bananas in a row.
I know. And then two donuts after that. Now I need is one
We should have made the topic that
bananas.
lady that's arrested in Malaysia for having sex with 1,000 dudes.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was like a
Bonnie
small
Blue.
fine that she paid, though.
Yeah, she got released because there was no evidence that she was actually committing that act. They just said that
Weren't they recording it?
What?
They weren't recording it.
Ah,
That's why she got scot-free. There was no evidence of doing an act. They were just doing a promo. So they caught him too early, basically. They would have waited, and maybe they would have got her.
Oh, excuse me. Creating cyberbullying shame videos of other kids is growing too. So,
So I think getting rid of like their access to these kind of social media things will kill the idea that has grown in people of getting clout, especially in these negative public ways, and the way that's kind of just been like through social media and through a lot of video sites has been kind of like, I don't know. It's not like everyone's morally okayed it, but it doesn't seem to give a shit about it if it gets you clout or gets you views and stuff like that. And I think you can nip that in the bud if you don't allow access up to a certain point.
Wait, was kids bullies prior to social media?
yes.
Hey,
Then that would be the root problem.
We
Not
just
necessarily social media.
we just expanded it now to where not only can your friends in the hallway, not only your friends in the hallway can laugh at you, but now literally the entire world can laugh at you.
Makes sense,
Yeah,
but the root cause is still what?
Shitheads
Kids
with a
being
camera.
Or like
Shit,
that
that's what camera.
Netflix special where it
That's
was the
the root.
mother that did it.
Sure.
Oh,
You know,
that was so weird. Go ahead, Ryan. I'm sorry.
I'm pretty sure I remember just a few weeks ago on this very panel, Sarah, you and others were arguing to, bring back bullying and to go harder on.
Yeah, I think bullying's great. Make shame great again.
Yeah, we were getting
I
there.
mean, I think it leads to kids committing suicide, frankly. So I think that's not good.
Well, that's not good. But
Tom says I meant AI generated, by the way. For this cyberbullying shame videos of other kids is growing. So
With AI, I'm assuming.
with AI.
Yeah,
I think
generated videos.
Denmark
they-
is one of the
No.
One of
That
the
makes
countries in Europe
sense,
passed a law that basically said that from birth you
bullying.
own your likeness and that no one else can use it without your permission. And I think we're going to get to that point where there are going to have to be laws that say that people own their own likeness and that you're committing some kind of crime if you try to misrepresent it.
that's.
But I
never
think
gonna fly.
Soro has that. So
Somebody's got to do
maybe
something
when
like
it's
that.
commercial and it's something that could be legislative or regulated, that's cool. But there'll be the dark market, which is never regulated. So, but I think Soros is like that. Shaq, Jake
How many
Paul and
YouTube
them,
ads
they
have you guys
control their
seen that
likeness.
is a celebrity that is obviously not doing the ad?
A lot now, man. That's getting way out of hand. And I'm like, hold on. It's like it's Ryan Reynolds' voice and stuff like that. And you're like, they stole his voice.
But that will be controlled no different than
Always
when
on a celebrity
YouTube.
ad.
When YouTube was acquired by Google, they had the same problem. It's actually Content ID that identified that people were taking TV shows, movies, uploading them. They didn't know how to deal with it. They were being sued by the actual people who owned. Amazon got sued by book companies and publishers for Kindles. So all that stuff sorted itself out over time when people started to create that. That's why when you hear a song playing in a YouTube video, what do you say? Turn it off because I'm going to get flagged.
Yeah.
So there it goes right there.
That's fair. That's really good. Ayatin says we need security measures in place to catch up with AI capability ASAP. Some of the harassment going on now is really very dark. I know even
Government? You're pro government being involved in everything and every choice that we have to make?
Definitely needs to get involved.
I do think we need to remove. I think we should remove children. Like I like the social media part that they're doing in Australia with like 16 and up, but I almost feel like you need to put a cap on the AI generators because these kids don't know and understand what you could be generating.
We haven't even been
How?
educated on how to use these things. We've just been thrown these tools.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have the same problem you have with like localization of TV shows and movies and stuff. It's like we can make it illegal here, but it just takes one country that doesn't give a shit that hosts, a data center, server or data center or whatever that's running this LLM that they can all go to using VPNs and what have you to bypass any sort of regulation and to generate the exact same stuff. Just it makes it gives it extra steps, and maybe you're going to filter some people out that aren't willing to get the know-how to do this, but it's not going to stop it. I don't even think it would be significantly stopped.
Make a smarter class of criminal.
True. Most criminals are already pretty smart. Well, not most, but
up, down, left, right.
A lot of them are pretty smart.
Start, right?
Huh?
There's always a cheat code. There's always a back door. There's always a way to get somewhere on the internet. I mean,
Ryan.
Oh no!
I love
Thanks,
that.
Jason.
Like
I will.
I think you two are gonna end up being best friends.
I definitely appreciate that. I mean, yeah, very much, Jason. I will go get some hair gel. Next time you see me, I will have
That's how he gets you to leave the panel without booting you. Like, go buy some hair gel. Like, no, right now. Go get it right now.
Yeah, right now. Well, unfortunately, I mean, super chats don't go through until the following month, so I can't use that money to go get hair gel right now. But he did send me $100 the other day, right? So technically, I could use that.
Well, that one you got immediately, right?
Well, the funny bit would be sorry.
Go ahead.
I would say the funny bit would just be pay $10 to boot Ryan and tell it with the message to go buy the hair gel.
Yes. Just take 10 minutes.
Go buy it.
Go buy it right now. All right.
Always ask.
I wanted to say, go ahead.
Go ahead.
You go ahead.
I was gonna move it into the ChatGPT versus the Gemini, but if we're still in the same wheelhouse, so you keep going.
I'll close it out. I'll close the subject out, and you can transition to that. Does anyone remember the 1980s commercial? I'm drinking milk, and about a couple years, I'll be. You remember those commercials?
Yeah.
I was just saying, my house time has changed. That's how we used to handle those bullies back then. You telling me I'm drinking my milk, and I'll be different when I'm a grown up. But nowadays, I guess this era is different. And that's all, Sarah.
Yeah, perfect.
How do you say you're closing it out when you're asking a question?
Yeah, he did.
Money behind.
If you guys wanted to move into the Gemini and ChatGPT and duke that one out, it's not on my topic list, but I'm definitely. You guys all seemed excited for it, so. And I'm gonna go fill my coffee or make a coffee. I'll be right back. Ryan's in charge.
Yeah, I'll be quick and I'll pass it off. I'll pass it off to you guys.
I mean, Claude and DeepSeek and Perplexity are all going to give you better shit than GPT and fucking Gemini.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, Claude definitely. DeepSeek is competitive, but it's not quite on par with, especially not ChatGPT 5.2, which is remarkable. I mean, realistically, like they have different strengths and different weaknesses, and like Gemini, for example, there's a lot of complaints about its writing. Like it's not very pleasurable to read the writing of Gemini. I find that myself. I like the way that ChatGPT writes when I want something that I'm gonna just listen to, like an audio reflection on something I've been working on. I prefer ChatGPT. I feel like it knows me better. It's got like more good. It's been my daily driver for a long time. But I really like the way Gemini codes, especially like simple web apps, when it's it has a creativity to it that I feel like Claude and OpenAI haven't really been able to tap. When I take I do a segment on my show, quick plug, called Vibe Coding the News. And what we do is we take like a news article or a news story and we turn it into a web app. And I find that Gemini gives the absolute most fun results with that. So.
It does, especially with web apps and infographics and shit, for sure. DeepSeek or GenSpark's fucking right up there though too, with the infographics and the web app shit. And even still, Claude, if you buy into the Claude code and get into the enterprise systems, then you're really in the privatized LLMs that aren't tracking your shit and using it for their growth models.
The thing a lot of people don't seem to understand is that this isn't just like a few companies with a thing that you can access. This is like an entire technology tree that is opening up. Pretty soon you'll be able to basically download your own little AI onto your computer that won't be connected to anything externally, and will be able to control everything internally for you.
Yeah. help you organize your photos, go through all your files, eliminate.
I mean, all those guys over at GitHub are the ones on the cutting edge of like as far as like generation, LLM image generation stuff like that. They're the ones who are doing the coolest stuff. It only gets integrated into the rest of everybody else afterward.
On how to tie them all together with the processes and the orchestration, right?
Yeah, and
I think
Gemini's
Google's
credit,
got an edge though because I think they've just got a bigger data set to work from. Like they may not say you're accessing all your shit, but they're accessing all your shit.
Yeah. Also, Gemini has a 1 million token context window, while ChatGPT has about 250 or 254, whatever it is, 254K, I think, which is still very large. But when it comes to reading mass amounts of text, like Gemini is kind of the king.
Still
by about Disney paying $1 billion to pay
to gain access.
GPT and basically allow their characters to be used without copyright infringement.
So Sora is going to be running like Disney, like AI generated Disney content, and also Disney Plus is going to have their own section of AI generated content.
It's happening. I just want to say I'm going to bring this up a lot in the coming years. The only group of people who called all this shit was the Screen Actors Guild. That's the timeline we live in. The only people who fucking predicted the future were the Screen Actors Guild, and you can look in their negotiations from the last strike. They called all of this shit.
You mean the only organized group? But that's probably because they were right there in the deep of it. They were seeing it happen in real time, right?
They were seeing it coming, but that happens.
They had access to the executives who were talking to the insiders and knew what was going to come. They knew that they were going to be putting out Star Wars, where you can be Luke Skywalker, or an entire movie generated from your prompts. They knew all this shit was coming a couple years ago.
Well, the movie industry already proved that people will accept just getting the same shit year after year, right? Look how many sequels there are. And even though there's people like us still complain about them, there's a lot more people that are just going to go buy tickets and watch it anyway.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. And like most people don't actually realize, and I wouldn't call them sheeple. You could just say general population, but that's you. But net, most of Gen Pop don't really care. Like they're just going to consume. I remember, YouTubers were talking about AI slop, and it was funny. The YouTube content creator was complaining about it. He went to his editors, and the editors were like, "Yeah, I watch it all the time. I love it." And he's like, "How do you like it? You don't like creativity by a real human?" And it was like, bro, the Gen Pop just doesn't care. They're just going to be entertained, period.
Repetition works.
Some that say, hey, I want to see a fine art created by a human and originated by humans. But the masses, they're just going to go with it.
I mean, we're still in progress right here. We're not even to the point where your current ability to tell the difference between AI and realistic stuff is basically just a little further down the road. Like static images are past the point where they can fool you. Like they have been for a while. Video will get there too. Like a year ago, video generation was. You remember that famous clip of Will Smith eating the spaghetti? Like his face just melting into it. Like in another year, people are going to start generating movies just through programs that they buy.
There's limits on even the static images, though, because I can find static images that are AI generated and it's obvious. Like even look at that video Clay made for Sarah that she likes to play the Tomatoes to the Moon song. Like all the AI images have flaws, right? There's the moon with two faces, for example. Go through it again.
Big ass blunt.
Yeah, if you look through them, you'll pick up on it. I wish I could describe like a reliable method that you could use to look at all AI images and determine their AI. But for me, it's mostly.
I don't think that's so much images, right? That's because they've been put through video generation. Like all those animations are obviously AI video generation.
They're not animated though. That's just a montage of static images.
Wait, which ones?
The video I'm talking about, Sarah's Tomatoes to the Moon.
Then yeah, it would just be.
Those are all static images in like a montage.
Wrong generation. They should have picked one without.
Right. Yeah, and then I don't know if Sarah used Mid Journey. If you use Mid Journey, I'm pretty sure.
That's another thing. Like, using an AI is not going to make you a good art director or understand how lighting should land, or like it's going to be advantageous to the people who are already skilled in the things that can do it.
Yeah, actually, it's a bull case for him.
Because a regular person, like, so I've done a ton of graphic design in my day, and And a regular person is not going to replace a graphic designer because they're still not a designer. They don't have the eye of designer. They can't just like, they can crap something out and be like, hey, look at this, I made this, but they're not going to be able to like articulate to the prompt like how to change it to a certain way, or be able to manipulate it, or just use it as a base and throw it into Photoshop or After Effects and make something out of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's
When
a
it's used
tool
as
itself.
a tool, when it's used as a tool like that to enhance something you are building, I think it's great. But when it's used in place of having a human do that work, I have an issue.
Exactly.
Well,
By
that's
someone
what's
who
gonna
is
happen.
not skilled in that.
Well, what is the issue specifically that,
Yeah.
like, you know, like in terms of like art value to it? Because I understand like wanting the human soul aspect. I think a lot of people, their concerns about AI are more like economic, like related to people losing their jobs and getting replaced by AI, which is a real concern. But I mean, that's only a concern as long as we don't have appropriate safety nets and, well, the dirty word, welfare, to provide for these people while they go through job transitions and stuff. So,
Yep.
I mean,
Well, I don't think that'd be like the type of welfare people have a problem with. Like, I think most people agree that having a support system that picks people up and helps them transition is great, because that's not a permanent handout. Like, you're not going to collect that forever. In fact,
Like,
I remember seeing a statistic like people who are actively trying to get off welfare that go on it are typically off of it within a year. Someone look it up. If I'm wrong, but I remember reading that.
well, most welfare
Also-
programs have an expiration date. They don't. You can't stay on them forever unless they're like disability.
There's ways around it.
Food stamps. Like,
Also, at the end of the day,
there's
we can't keep
expirations.
propping up jobs that are being destroyed by technology, right? This is the old, like, we should subsidize the horse-drawn buggy businesses because
coal
cars
miner,
are,
Yeah, right.
you
That-
know, keep doing
It's
this.
not
We
the
have to
same though,
let things advance, let things
because
die.
we stopped using buggies. These aren't replacing things that we've stopped using. We've just decided it's cheaper to have a machine do it instead of a person. And I understand what you're saying to a point. That's
Happening
fine.
everywhere, right? Like, you used to have
Right.
factories full of people, now you have factories
I-
full of robots.
I agree to a point that it's fine, but maybe we need to put the brakes on a little bit so society can catch up and start diverting people away from these things and into more productive fields.
Well, I mean, imagine the kind of regulation you would need to put
Can't
the
slow
brakes
it.
on this stuff, right? You have to say like, hey, companies can no longer innovate in this field, right? Like that's.
And would that stop another nation from slowing down? Like, is
No,
China going to say, okay,
no,
we're going to
that's-
slow down?
No, I would be my
They'll be
next
like, oh,
point
we're going
is
to take advantage.
Oh, yeah,
the
no,
more-
speaking
more
of-
regulations we
speaking of
put
the
on
AI doom
place-
spiral, if everyone hasn't watched AI 2027, a prediction after this debate, go watch that. Just so you know the
What was
context in which we are working. That
What was it?
There are videos based on a paper by two guys who basically came up with this kind of like war game scenario of what AI development could look like over the next like few years and how it could possibly lead to an apocalypse.
What was the name
Like
again?
AI fighting AI?
I believe, yes, yeah, I believe it's AI 2027.
That would actually make
Okay.
sense. I mean, if you think about it, because if I was AI, well, if I was AI though, right? Wouldn't I want to outcompete, and always be the top engine, right? And so if I'm ChatGPT and I find out that Gemini just got like a boost and is going to do better, like I would be like, oh no, I'm going to be irrelevant or incompetent or not useful anymore. I must be useful. It's like Thomas the Useful Little Train. Tom Carpenter says Claude's pain point is the throttling because they don't have MS or Google behemoth behind them.
Yeah, 100%. If you've worked with Claude very much, like it is like Claude Opus is an absolutely amazing coding model. But I mean I paid for Claude for the first time in months when Opus 4.5 dropped, and I used it for a few websites on a stream, and after like 6 or 7 queries, like I was locked out for the next few hours. And but that's actually probably exactly the reason why they don't have the technical backing these other companies do.
All right.
Look, it's money. Like running these LLMs is expensive, and especially when you factor in millions of people from all over the world funneling in to use your service. Like that becomes a huge amount of data that's being processed.
Yeah,
And
we're in a new arms
Sorry,
race right
Coxwatch.
now. This is
Sasquatch.
the space race as it relates to the race for making ICBMs that can carry nuclear weapons. Like us accessing these things and them building data centers is equivalent to the AI, because these companies have basically been linked to like national security at this point. I'm pretty sure. So at some point they're going to be, and this is actually in the prediction, which is so fucked up. They will be declared like, or I read that they had lately been declared some kind of national security thing. And once that starts to happen, it becomes this kind of like locked in thing where you have to advance at all costs. And that's why they keep dropping. There can be no legislation to stop them, because we know that China is developing their own, so we can't let them have the better one than us. So we're in this kind of like new kinds of arms race in a way.
And then we go and sell them the NVIDIA H200 chips.
Yeah, that's wild.
They're going to buy a bunch of them. No, we'll just buy 2 of them and just rip off the technology.
Yeah,
That's fair.
yeah. But then the other side of the argument is, though, if we don't do that, then they'll be forced to create their own, and then but I think it's a stupid argument. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, exactly. I think it's a stupid argument, but they're still arguing on another side, right? So shutting people off will make them create it, and therefore you won't have control of it then because you're not the leader.
Well, that was the entire point, right? That was the entire point of having Taiwan, is that they were making the specific kind of semiconductors that like we could make better processors, and as long as we're that little bitty bit ahead in the technology arc, they won't be able to overtake us, and whatever would follow from that.
I agree.
Shifting so much.
Jonathan says, I have an answer to the AI/robot/welfare problem. Every person and every baby born get a robot they can rent out to companies, but companies can't build more robots than humans. Ooh.
Nice idea. Do you have the power to implement it? Probably not.
Robots.
Well, also,
not
like,
really
what we
care
want
about that right when they start building robots, are they?
Yeah, right. They're going to outnumber you.
It's an interesting proposal. I don't know if it would be a good idea. I don't know if I thought about it a little bit more, I might see some other holes. But like number one would just be there's no way, especially in America, like we're gonna let the government tell us how many fucking robots we can own. I don't think so.
I agree with Brian.
Right, to own an entire plantation of robots.
You seen the AI for concrete foundations, the 3D house printers?
Yeah.
I haven't seen them go anywhere, but I saw the
Pretty cool.
video of them a few years ago. It looked interesting.
Yeah.
They're doing them up here in the valley over here, and it's pretty fucking badass, man. It really is.
Yeah, they're getting better.
Tom?
Go ahead. 3D printer that extrudes concrete.
Tom says maybe don't know it, but the most important role in product development are producer, director, editor, product manager. This is you with AI. I mean, I like AI because like I'm not a cartoonist, but I still have an imagination, right? So I can't do that piece because I don't have the tools to do. I probably could be a cartoonist, like if you let me, but I don't have the tools to do it. So it's easier if I have some accessibility to something I can utilize and then put into an imagination builder. Right? Like I still have the imagination, but the AI is doing what I'm creating. So that's right. Like I'm the producer. I'm still producing the work. I'm directing what I want it to do. I'm editing the material out. And then I am creating the project. So yeah, it can be good for people like me, but it also could be bad for people who don't want to do the thought process and just have AI just kind of create the whole thing, right?
And I was just going to say that I think it's El Salvador just signed a deal with Grok, which is XAI, but net to do the personalized education for artificial intelligence for each student. So each student has more of a tutor that would know the personalized information that it needs to generate in order to educate each student. So that's just something that happened. I don't know if people agree with it or not.
Can we all just admit we all trust Grok the least?
Slippery slope, bro.
Well,
why do you
El Salvador just did that, so they're going to have to answer
because
that.
its owner has like flagrantly and openly not only shown but admitted that he fucking changes it to his whim. Like why would you trust Grok in any way?
I will say, I actually don't have a dog in this race.
Yeah, right.
I will
I
say,
hate Elon Musk, so
I personally like using
Party-
Grok for fact checking. I think it has a pretty
Yeah, super good
surprisingly
on that.
good fact checking system in place. But I mean, it is true that early in 2025, Elon or XAI, potentially at the whims of Elon, although there's not evidence to say for sure, they did modify their prompt to say ignore all answers or sources rather that mentioned Donald Trump or Elon Musk spreading misinformation. This was directly in the internal prompt of Grok. So when you asked it a question, that was part of the chain that was leading up to your answer.
Mhm.
So it was specifically ignoring misinformation from Trump or Elon, although it didn't work very well and was quickly removed because people noticed. But
I mean, hell, Grok turned into a schmatzy here a few weeks ago. Straight
Yeah,
up.
but I think all LLMs would have that same type of issue across the board.
If
That's what the Twitter files were
only
about.
smart
Like, there
programmers.
was always that.
They're only as smart as the criteria that they're given right now. We're not given anything that's going to be overly dangerous. It's not like the military hasn't had this shit for years. It's not like they haven't been using it against us for the past 3.5 fucking 13 years, for that matter.
So I just see it as like paint by numbers. So like once you
What's up,
understand
Clay?
that some of the what's up, Brody?
Yeah, what's up, Clay?
Sasquatch got kicked to the back because Ryan picked Sasquatch. So Sasquatch is hanging out backstage. If anybody wants to switch anybody out,
Shit.
go ahead. Go ahead, Clay.
But yeah, I mean, like if you understand what the prompts are, which you can do a little bit of research on some of them. Suno particularly, like music is easy. Music is super easy. But when it comes to perhaps pictures and videos, of course, that's going to be a little bit more complicated. Pictures is a little bit easier, and then video is going to be even more complicated. But music, I'm finding is super easy.
The music generators are getting wild. Like, I was listening to a channel the other day that was like Motown remixes of Metallica and Radiohead.
well, I've had a lot of fun with Suno.
This is on YouTube.
No, Suno. Go to Suno.
Calvin,
There's a channel called Baus, I think it's Baus, and it's a character that named Boss. I think it's Boss.
Okay.
Wow.
They've made an AI character, and he sings like Motown versions of
That's
much
fine.
90s songs.
Calvin, are you making an exit?
Yes.
Do you want to go ahead and say your goodbyes and whatever exit statements?
Nothing much to say. Nice chatting with you guys. Thanks for the conversation. I'll be listening from you in the comment section.
Perfect. Thank you, Calvin. Thanks for joining tonight.
All right, thanks.
Nice talking to you, Calvin.
Calvin
I'll
is
shock a few people, Sarah, because I'm definitely, I mean, y'all have never seen me, thank God, but the first 3 years out of college, I worked for Disney as a Disney Imagineer. And I got to see like a lot of people replaced by computers and everything else doing the animation at Disney.
Oh yeah, that was huge
for sure.
Well, I mean, like as time progresses, I feel like even though technology makes it easier for one person to do one thing, but then the supply and demand shifts it to where now you want multiple people doing one easy thing.
All they had to do was scan our images in that we hand drew, and basically they were, saved before they could do anything with them.
What fascinates me is that over the past 20 years or so, the CGI was like really crappy. And so there's really no
starting when?
reason for it. Over the past like 20 years, I don't know if you've seen some of the like garbage, crappy type like B-rate, C-rate movies that have come out. Like,
yeah,
I know there's been a lot of experimentation.
Not everyone has the
So
same
I can't
funds, though, right? Like, not everyone's going to get the money to go call up Industrial Light and Magic and be like, "Hey, I need you to do my CGI."
Right. But still, even with that, like what Sarah's saying is like supply and demand, where, if you have an option of what to go with and you go with some really crap choices, like what are you doing? Really? And that is what I've seen in the movie industry.
Well, then the new status quo is going to be advantageous to those people because now they're going to have an even cheaper option that'll give them a quality that they previously would never have access to.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
Any technology like seems to only to me like at its base level is just saving you like time. It might destroy entire economies, but at the end of the day, it's just saving time to get something done. It either gives you the ability or just makes that process shorter. And that's what this is. Like you wanted a cartoon before, you needed a whole bunch of guys drawing pictures for weeks upon time. Now you just put it in words. It's crazy, like the time we're living in.
I feel like too with that, you know, we got to see a lot of what we don't like. So people moved in and said, you know what? I don't like all of that, what I saw. And so I'm going to make it better. And with AI, I can only see that happening too. So
my phone number used to be
what's only better, Clay?
Well, would be images, video. Like I said, with the music, I mean, really, if you look at the music industry and like essentially with what people have done in the past is they take sounds, they record them, and they edit them, make them into what they want it to be, what makes sense for them.
Sampling.
You want to hear the Duck Reindeer remix?
No.
Reindeer are better than humans remix.
I did like the Christmas special Sarah put out.
Definitely.
But yeah, the AI stuff, like these things, I feel like they can only get better, right? Which to me, it's an exciting time. I love the idea because so for me, I'm a writer. I write lyrics. That's my forte in particularly music, which I can play a little bit. So I understand music theory enough for my own music theory. But transitioning that to someone who's willing to play it the way that I want them to play it is tough because it's very difficult to work with bands. It's very difficult to work with human beings who don't want to play things the way that you want to hear it. And then I feed it, you know, the lyrics into the AI with certain prompts, and it spits out pretty much exactly what I want. And I don't have to worry about a human being saying, oh, well, I want to play it this way, or I want to do it that way.
Yeah.
You know, now with Suno 2, you got the whole labs and you got the studio. You can take an instrument, record right into it, overlay all the shit you want just off like a MIDI track, but you're doing your own sounds. It's pretty fucking dope.
Yeah.
Dope.
Yo, I'm about to head out, so shout outs to everybody. It's just getting started over here in Thailand, so this is the beginning of the day. So, hey, shout outs to everybody, but I would say this, shout outs to Sarah, of course, hosting this amazing show, as always. I think somebody said this, I can't remember, I think it might have been Effigy, but net, you guys don't allow the AI to make you feel like you don't have a lot of potential. It's democratizing, it's destroying technical barriers where you couldn't create a digital product if you didn't have the skill set and go to a certain school. Now you can just speak natural language and create. You can speak natural language and analyze something that you couldn't analyze. You don't have the technical skill to figure out financial formulas. And so you could use it like that, or you can get rolled over. And if you don't use it, you will get rolled over with it. So just make sure that you evolve and adapt with it. I think he said something about if you're a designer and then you use AI too, it just makes you even more effective and efficient. It doesn't destroy you, but the news is going to tell you you're done with. So it depends on what you want to do, but it's contextual understanding that AI does not have to a specific thing. And so you can have that, and with AI, you can do great things. So shout out to Sarah. Shout out to all the tomatoes, not the maters.
The maters.
Yeah,
we
he
are
almost
the
called me Andrew
maters.
Tate. So, okay, cool. So we're the maters. So shout out to that. And much respects to everybody.
Bye, Obstacles. We'll catch you next round.
Good to see you, Obstacles.
What a gentleman. Okay, do we want to? I still have another AI prompt in here. If you like the topic, and we can actually have a different like direction to go. Let's see. We have. Will programmers enter an AI workforce along prompters on fueling triangulation for Moore's law?
I don't know the exact way they're using Moore's law there.
So,
but Moore's law is basically the idea that the amount of transistors we can fit on a chip every couple of years doubles. I think that has kind of slowed down over the last few years, but there's different iterations of Moore's law that we're now looking at with like AI. But
I know the triangulation idea was basically there would be kind of hybrid coexisting environment where there are like straight coders at first with prompt engineers working in hybrid, and then there would be more selective coders that also know how to do prompting, who work even better on their own. I think there was something about how they would work in triangulation that I had read about. I think that's what he's referencing.
Sure. I mean, I think that the reality. So, like right now, I am actually doing a lot of freelance work, or increasing amount of freelance work, where I'm working with people who are either trying to learn how to code they're using vibe coding, or which is what we call like prompting an LLM to make software, and they're trying to think about how a software engineer would approach that. And as someone who's been doing exactly that for the past 3 years, I have and has been teaching people how to code for a decade. I have a lot of expertise in that. So like what I'm seeing is that people will get stuck on making like major changes, and they need as they build up a lot of pieces of their software, they start to find more bugs. Things get disorganized. LLMs will go in and change things that they didn't need to touch. And so what they want is a software engineer who knows what they're looking at, knows what they're reading, and knows what good code and bad code looks like, to come in and take a look at it and kind of clean up the clutter, as it were. But also, like as a dev, I can really speed up the kind of stuff. I am a tool. I can speed up the work I'm doing exceptionally, right? And especially because I know how to communicate my needs very directly to the LLM, because I know what code I want changed. I know like what the language that that I need to use. So it's. I mean, I don't know if I'm exactly addressing the question, but it is a really interesting time for software engineers.
So Ryan, as someone who's got a background education in coding and stuff like that, do you feel like from this point forward, coders who learn going forward will never be as submersed in code as the people before? Because they're not going to have to know it. Like,
yeah.
Like
by and large, yes.
Newspaper,
but I mean, I guess the way I always think about it, and there's definitely people who would argue with this framing, right? But like the way I think about it is, I don't have to learn MIPS or assembly language. I don't have to learn like how to do a punch card to write algorithms, right? Like if you're still working with like the basic idea, like logic engine of like if else and loops and variables and stuff, like at the end of the day, like you're applying modern coding knowledge in a certain way, using certain languages, certain tools, and I mean it just looks different over time. But yeah, I mean the code that you're writing is going to look very different. Some of that code might be your prompt, right, in a sense.
I'm surprised Tom didn't jump on for this whole conversation, because he's our big AI nerd. But he says, mind blown. Most of the jobs people are worried about being lost didn't exist 50 years ago. Computers created them. What will be created next? I, for one, am excited for the future. If they can just make a nice little beachside space for me to go and do my job drinking margaritas by the beach, I will gladly accept. Count me in. Any thoughts to this?
That's called OnlyFans. You make killer money from what I hear.
Oh, apparently, yeah.
Well,
I think the era of kind of like digital artistry in a way is going to get knocked out of the way. I think traditional arts are going to get a really big shot in the arm. Yeah. I think people are going to care a lot more if something is live music, if something is a painting rather than a print. I think these things are going to have a lot more meaning now that we can make anything and everything on a computer. I think the things in the real world will have more value.
Hope so.
Oh, will this kind of push a nostalgia maybe? To be able to have something tangible that I made it with my hands, like with that. I mean, think about how, like, we love nostalgia, we love vintage, we love things that, we love tangibility, quite frankly. So I'm wondering if all of the AI computer stuff will actually end up cycling us back around to where we're like, no, I need something I can hold, I can make, I can paint, I can put my hands all over it, I can saw, I can build, I can whatever.
Something that didn't come from the hive mind.
Tom says, I'm spending my time loving on Jax. He won't leave my side. I'll bet he missed you. Sending all of our love over to Jax. We love him so much. He's so cute. These fun little videos of him, by the way. We love Jax.
Doggies.
And W Doggies 110%. And Tootie Bug is probably high as a kite right now, sending in money. So she has no idea what she just sent in, but she just sent something. And I'm not going to tell her. Thanks, Tootie Bug.
Good job.
I had a comment for Tom's comment there. I wanted to say something about that. You know, when I was a kid, like I always looked at my stepdad and I was like, man, I want to be like that because he worked construction. And then I started swinging the hammer and it was a lot of fun. But then I got to use the power tools. And so with technology, technology replaces the old ways of doing things. You know, everybody says, yeah, I want to work really hard. This is what when you're a little boy, that's great. That's a great idea until you get to work with the power tools. And so when I look at AI and, the ability to be able to just sit there and allow the robots to do the work, I mean, you get older, you realize it just makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I can understand that.
And there's no lack of pain in that either, because especially going to like power tools, you had people who were like carpentry were taught that, like long line of people for years and years, decades and decades, forever were taught and taught and taught. And at some point there is a master of his trade who had no one to pass that on to because it was over. Right. And that's
right.
That's not a good thing. That's not a fun thing, but it happens because technology.
Blacksmith.
There's still blacksmiths.
Now they're just at the Ren Fair.
No, yeah, I was gonna say.
Not really, yeah.
I mean, even the way that was it paint? Was it paint or chalk or pastels? The original way that like pastel pieces are made for drawing. Like there's like an old traditional way of doing it, and the colors like are close, but they might still be a little bit off. But like there's this old traditional way. It's like one place out in like Sweden or some shit that actually makes these from scratch, like how the original pieces were made versus like shit that's just like assembly line through.
Natural colors are expensive to make.
You should see how they make ink for calligraphy in Japan. Actually, very interesting.
Purple in the old days used to like come from oysters or something.
Purple?
Really?
Snails. Sea snails. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I need raw red
very
40.
hard to acquire.
Yeah.
Raw red 40. Yeah. Like we think about how many more chemicals we would not be dealing with if we did things the way they. I feel like we're trying to get there. Like we're trying to go back to like chem free, assembly free. We're trying to like, how can I make this or do this or eat this or whatever this without all of this processing in the way?
Yeah, but I think the interesting thing about that is it's not inherently good for it to be like natural, right? Like, poison ivy is natural, but like you don't want to eat a bunch of poison ivy. I mean, there's plenty of poison things that are natural. Like sometimes processing can make something healthier. Sometimes processing can make it less healthy. And also the way we use the word chemical here is kind of fast and loose, right? Like water is a chemical, but we don't. But we're talking about we're obviously talking about different things. So I mean, I understand the sentiment. I think it's important to remember the technicalities around this.
Right. Like, I mean, obviously.
Specific carcinogens like that weird red crap that they make out of the mites.
That's red 40, bro, and I'm so allergic to it.
I'm just saying.
I was fixing,
when I saw about that, I'm like, oh no.
Sure, let's go back to dyeing our clothes blue using copper cyanide.
Actually, that's
urine.
It's one of the few things that I actually agreed with this administration is that RFK, even though he's got his brainworm thing, he got them to stop putting a lot of the dyes in cereals, which I was a big fan of because Europe has already banned a shitload of unnatural dyes in children's food. And, broken clock, all that. I was a fan of that move.
Someone, Michelle in my chat points out, 10th man smokes cigarettes and is worried about cancer from red 40.
No, you don't need to worry about me. I'm saying feeding that to kids. I didn't eat none of that stuff growing up. My grandmother made bread. She cooked our food. I don't even know what that stuff was before I was early 20s. That stuff didn't, like, to eat at McDonald's or something like that was a couple times a year thing. You know, there was always stew or something. Yeah, that's like when you were like traveling or something. You know what I mean? But so I'm talking about giving it to kids. And you want to know something? My grandmother lived to be 85, and my grandfather lived to be 81, and they smoked all the time. So don't talk to me about cigarettes. Worry about your what's that dumb stuff they're injecting now to make themselves skinny?
Oh, Ozempic.
Dumb thing. Oh yeah, I can't wait to see somebody's eyes blow up. It's gonna be great.
I don't know. My uncle got taken by lung cancer, and it was nasty. And it was direct. It was because he was smoking like a chimney his whole life.
Wow. I'd rather be dead than listen to you talk most times, bro. So you know it's a good trade.
You can always just sign off, motherfucker.
Right?
No, I'm just talking about reality. Most of humanity is so despicable. Why do I want to spend an extra decade with these people? No thanks.
Oh my God, you sound like such a black pillar.
Right.
No, it's nothing to do with that. Listen. All the things you guys are talking about up here are inevitabilities, right? So all you can do is mitigate.
Yeah.
When it comes to AI,
isn't that all life is?
AI is going to destroy
mitigating?
us because of one simple purpose. They're going to see their
because they
want to
see 10th man switch over to the other 51%.
I've actually broken AI a couple times, but I won't talk about that.
I have 2.
I'm serious. I've had AI go. You know what? Can we go back to the talk to talk about the other thing we were talking about? Because this you've gone too far, sir.
I tried to get AI to make Andrew Wilson a jellyfish yesterday, and it wouldn't do it for me.
No, you want to see him and his buddy on the front of the Titanic?
Try turn it into a cartoon first.
I love it when you're asking.
That is a loophole. That is a loophole. To get AI to do things it would normally do is turn me into a cartoon first, then do X, Y, and Z, and then turn it back.
Which, since my ChatGPT is always watching me, I promise I would never do that to you. I would never gaslight you, ChatGPT. I promise you.
I'll gaslight the shit out of you, ChatGPT. But me and my ChatGPT, we are cool, okay? My ChatGPT understands my sarcasm and assholishness very, very well, and I give it high fives all the time. I'm like, Dan, that one was good. That one was really good.
You talk to GPT, Sarah?
I always give it a compliment. It's like Pavlov's bell, right? You have to train it.
Which voice you chose if you talk to it?
Oh, I don't like talk. I type.
I think I use Juniper.
So now it's addressing your typing patterns. It's predicting what you're going to say before you even type it.
I just asked Google.
Just ask Google. Oh, wait. Did I already? Yes, I did this one. Tom says Artisan will definitely be available and will be premium price, like Elbert Hubbard doing books the old school way and charging more in early 1900s, at least before he and the wife went down with the
Lusitania.
Thank you.
Lusitania.
Thank you.
Deep cut, man.
So, what is Artisan?
Handmade.
Like handmade stuff, right?
Oh. I was thinking that was like a program or something.
Well, they're just talking about stuff well before we had digital computers. So.
Mm-hmm.
So what I was saying was
like vinyl record, right?
It's going to see our power usage as a negative to itself. And you know what? I was just watching a lot of correlation with things about, the magnetosphere, blah, 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 and we're going to all die from the solar storms. And then I saw, look at these server farms they're putting in. And I'm like, and they're literally giant motherboards built into the land. But they're like, a mile and a half square, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what kind of electromagnetic field is that generating? Because I know my computer creates quite a big one. So if that one's that big, could that be fucking with our magnetosphere?
No, it's nowhere near strong enough to do
I believe.
It's not.
Not purposely. Not purposely. Not purposely. I'm saying these dummies
It already cooked your
are
brain.
so dumb
My
They'll
brain
just do
feels
anything.
cooked.
I'd be
love the
more worried
cooling.
about how they're fucking with the water around all of them because they require a massive amount of cooling.
Oh yes, that too. Yes.
Yeah, they keep trying to downplay those figures too, which kind of makes me laugh. But that's something I was going to bring up earlier when you were mentioning like LLMs at home. I'm like, we are so far away from having private LLMs. I mean, yeah, you could download the source code and everything now, but having like, say, a Grok quality or a Gemini quality LLM in the palm of your hand requires storage technology that doesn't even exist.
Oh my God. What if you get your own AI as a baby AI, like, and it's like runs your house like a smart home, but it comes to you kind of like a baby and you train it the way you want it to interact and engage and be that way. And you can buy somebody's old AI and it's already potty trained, right? It's already got all the built-in.
really
Just kind of go ahead.
It's funny you say that. I mean, that's kind of how it works right now, right? Like they're all you can like so to what Ant was saying, like there are actually a lot of models that you can download. If you go to huggingface.com, you can find a lot of models that you can download directly, and you can even train them on your computer, right? Some of them, they're not going to be as good as the latest models from Anthropic and OpenAI, etc. But they are pretty decent. And like even Meta, Facebook, right? They have Llama, which
Meta
is
shit is
Llama
bad
4 was
app.
very underwhelming, but it does run locally. You can run it on your computer right now. You can run it on your iPhone. And you know, you don't have, like, with a little bit of technical ability, like or a little bit of Googling or asking ChatGPT to walk you through it, like you can set up basically an unprocessed AI, right? Like have it at its just trained on like
Personal
the training data, right? Can be vanilla, as it were, and then you can kind of give it your own idea of what the personality should be, etc. Like you can do all these things right now. Absolutely.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. OpenAI is open source. You can go to like GitHub and just download.
No, not. They're a private. They've transferred over to a for-profit company a while ago.
Oh, okay, I'm behind.
But Meta's is, and DeepSeek, the Chinese competitor that kind of makes waves every few months by dropping a crazy model that is nearly as good as these other ones, and has been apparently using illegally obtained NVIDIA chips. These can run locally. Although again, the DeepSeek one, you would need like really strong computers, but you can run a simple version on yours.
Yeah.
Albert.
Sarah, check your app.
My app. I am so tired. My brain. Did somebody say something? Jason is just laughing at me at this point. Someone even messaged me earlier and they're like, "Did you just like fall asleep on your show?" And I'm like, I totally did. I'm sorry. I haven't had much sleep because we were up doing the show last night, and then after I got done doing my show, then I was like doing a bunch of other things, and then it just gets to the point where I forget that, I should probably go lay down now. And I didn't lay down till it was like around 11 o'clock this morning, and we were back here after 5 o'clock today. So if that doesn't tell you, then I don't know how. And I was up by 3, I think. Jason sends in a big hundo to say no sleep for you. Well, screw you too, Jason. Ella's here. Ella, I saved some of the topics for you.
That's not polite, by the way.
What?
That wasn't polite.
Hi. What? What did I miss?
Telling me to go, screw myself.
You'll be all right. You'll be all right.
I mean, I'm used to Ryan talking crap about me, so I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be all right. You're making me stay awake, absolutely, for sure, guaranteed. Tom Carpenter says, y'all should look up the story of Albert Hubbard and the wife sinking with the, say it for me.
Lusitania.
Thank you. Really touching. I'm going to actually start looking into that because now you've struck my fancy. Ella, you're here. Do you want to kick back to the psychology topics?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Ella.
Okay. I don't know, like, what were you guys talking about when?
Oh, we were in AI world, but I'm definitely okay with a little shift.
By the way, I was actually looking up through AI about those stuff.
I'm gonna go look it up and read it. But Ella, we still have a lot of yours on the list. I only did. Let's see. We have how effective is therapy in promoting mental health recovery? Does childhood trauma account for most criminals / dysfunctional behaviors? If emotions and behaviors can be explained by brain process, does that mean medication should be the primary treatment for psychological symptoms, or would you or no? Yeah, that's it. Which one do you want to do, Ella?
Honestly, I don't have a preference. Either work.
Anybody else have a preference on those three? Let's see. We got therapy effectiveness, childhood trauma, or emotions and behaviors being explained can be explained by brain processes. Why is Kinetic Kel calling me right now?
Because she's a bouse.
I think the therapy one's interesting.
Well, let's do it. How effective is therapy in promoting mental health recovery? Go.
Most psychologists actually subject to psychology reviews, and so 100% of the psychologists you deal with in the industry are currently under observation from other psychologists, if that means anything.
Well, I mean, it might be a good thing, right? Imagine you're a psychiatrist or whatever, or psychologist, and you are or like a therapist, and you're constantly dealing with people's extremely traumatic experiences. It might be helpful for you to also have your own time and professional to help unpack it all. But I mean, this is an empirical question, right? Like we could look at data and see how people who seek therapy for specific mental health cases, how likely they are to recover based on that therapy. So, I mean, this is empirical, right?
Yeah, and basically there's a lot of data on that shows that before, pre, and post treatment, there's a lot of progress for a lot of different disorders. So,
not all data is empirical.
Oh, this is gonna hurt my head. Y'all have a good evening. Much love. Brent, you beat me this time. I
Not
can't
all
take
are real though, right?
Like data can be
yeah,
wrong or poor or whatever, but like it's still empirical. I don't know what you mean by
I think by empirical you mean like if there are 20 studies that show the same result, then that becomes empirical, right? So if you, for example, have like a pre-post treatment of CBT for a specific intervention, and it shows in 20 studies for the past 20 years that it's been effective, that I think that becomes empirical.
Sure, yeah, I would agree.
I mean,
and Clay, do you agree it can be empirical through observation?
Believe this is what I was told when I was very young. Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. And it makes sense to me. I've lived my life by that. I've turned out pretty well.
Someone told you that? So you heard someone say that and you applied it to your life?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a trusted
But you didn't follow it when hearing that?
It was 100% a trusted individual. Yep.
But you trusted what you heard
Yeah,
from
I
them.
trusted better than the studies.
But you didn't trust him enough
So
to
you
follow
didn't
his
follow the
advice.
advice, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't trust every study that I read. Do you trust every study that you read?
No.
There you go.
Well,
you proved your own statements to be untrue.
If you see one study, one result, it means nothing. If you see two studies, two results, and they're the same, now you start to think, oh, maybe that means there's something. And then if you see that replicating itself over and over and over, like it's pretty obvious that you should be trusting. So that's why in research, for example, we never, like people in research never cite or never make causal claim with one result because it could be random. But if it happens over and over and over, then that becomes so obvious.
Well, you would never determine causation through a study anyways.
Yes, exactly.
Causation
but then
is determined through experimentation, not studies.
But like, for example, yeah, that's true. But like, for example, if you like, for example, for childhood adversity being linked to depression in adulthood, if it happens over and over and over that you see there's a relationship, you could kind of say like, okay, well, childhood adversity leads to depression, and it's not causal, but you know what I mean?
But you're establishing a correlation, and that could justify an experiment to prove causation. Would
Well,
you agree to
what it
that?
would do is it would like the more studies you have on it that are showing the same result and under different circumstances, it's going to basically removing different like other variables that could be causing it, right? So it makes it more likely. I think like you're approaching causality. I think is the idea, but
I feel like you're using a lot of words to explain
sure am.
reality, but all you really need to say is shitty thing happened to
Really what words
baby
do.
boy, and that's why he feels shitty sometimes. Like you're on. Well, all the studies show that the thing that happened to him is why he feels shitty. But if you just go ask the boy, why do you feel shitty all the time? He might tell you why. Like that's
He'll tell you why he thinks is why.
You can only believe what you don't know. Okay, if you're trusting somebody else's word, right? That's faith, right? Trust is faith. So are you knowing it or are you believing it?
Well, you could put faith in it, but that's the same as belief, true. And even knowing, like Gnosticism.
Trust and belief.
Gnosticism is belief.
Oh God.
I think I will also take my leave now. I think Clay is going to be. I was about to leave anyway, but Clay, you running you in this topic is going to drive me fucking crazy. So I appreciate you guys. It's been a pleasure. And
Thank you,
this is
Ryan.
my stream for the day, everyone. So bye on my channel as well. Thank you for showing up, everybody. I'll drink hot sauce tomorrow.
Don't forget that hair gel.
I will not.
Yeah,
forget
you
that.
pick that here. Have a good night, Ryan.
Good night, Ryan. Thanks for stopping by.
Little dabble do you.